So, I am pretty new at this, but I thought maybe I'd take a video here and show what we got going on. So, I have a 2014 Genesis Coupe rspec 2OT, and I'm currently disassembling it as I am going to be doing some painting. But for those of you who are interested, I'm going to go over a little bit of what I've done prior to this. So, I had SFR, or seoulfulracing, do my tuning. I have a custom tune on it. I'm making around 320 or so horsepower at the engine, or at the crank. I just got this Turbo XS intercooler, not quite finished with the install. I have the intercooler itself in, but I'm having some trouble with the blow off, and so I've been talking with Turbo XS on how to go about getting that to work correctly. So they have gotten back to me, I believe. So that little solenoid there is giving me trouble. It's giving me engine codes, because that's what originally tied into the old blow off, or bypass technically, that would have mounted on that bracket there. And let's see if I'm trying to show you a little port there. It's plugged off. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's where it would have put the air back into the system. But this little solenoid here on the top side, that port, that would have gone to the bypass valve. And then there's another port on the side. It's a little complicated with it being on the left for me to show you real well. But that would have gone down further on the charge pipe here. But with the new piping and blow off, I can't do that anymore. So currently I just have that come back to a T, and then coming over to the blow off valve, which my hoses aren't quite the right size. I need to fix this. I'm not done yet. And then it didn't give me enough of pressure, so I am teed into right behind the throttle body. There's that black and white check valve or whatever, and so I'm teed in there as well. So according to what I'm understanding from Turbo XS as of now, that second port there I have to put in with one of these T's, maybe even that one back there at the green and white check valve. I'm not sure yet. I will have to get back on that as I learn there. That where that is actually, I don't know if you can see, there's a T there with some coil. That's running through to my boost gauge. I had put a boost gauge in. There's also a green wire running up here. Starts down here at the oil filter. I have it plugged in at the top, and then running across and through the firewall. That's for the oil temp. And yeah, it has a cooled air, K&N cooled air intake. That was on when I bought it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it at the front end. Underneath here, I don't know if I can show you what I did or not. Probably not really. But up on the top of that is where I would have plugged in for the oil temp sensor. I have a different exhaust system here. I have an ESR downpipe. I left the cat in, but right up to that I have an ESR downpipe. And then I had to make up my own adapter piece there. And then from back I have a new full exhaust system the whole way back through here. Let's see here. I can't give you a real great perspective on it as my car's not together. I'll have to go over it again once I have it back together. And yeah. So I had the rear bumper off and the front bumper off and the side skirts. Basically everything that's plastic. If you have one of these cars, you might be familiar with that. Yeah, so I'm gonna get that repainted, and then I should be good to go. I need to do some work on my front brakes here. By the way, I have Arc Performance, their rotors here in the front, and some EBC brake pads. I did notice some squealing. I'm not sure if that's because they're still breaking in, or if it's just because it's a more performance brake pad. I don't know. I have some dust. I don't know how terrible that is, but yeah. Oh, while I'm here, when I bought the car, I don't know if anybody else had this issue or not, but when I bought the car, my windshield wipers did not, the fluid did not come through. And this little pump here on the bottom of your tank, there's a little screen on the inside of it. This actually just like clips in there, so if you unplug it here, well actually you probably wouldn't even have to unplug, but basically yank it out. The fluid will come out if you don't plug it, but on the back side of that pump there's a screen, and mine was all gummed up. So I cleaned off that stuff, and then I was able to pump fluid through. So if anybody else has that problem, that could be what's going on. And with my front bumper here, this is the back side by the way, I am tearing it to pieces. I have the other pieces over here, and I am going to be putting a mesh into it. So, here's what it looks like. So, you're going to take this whole bar here, it's all going to get cut out, so it'll cut in through there, and off the tabs and stuff. So all these tabs on the back side here around the opening have to come off. All of these, need to chop them all off. All of those. And yeah, like I said, that whole bar has to come out for the mesh to go in. And this is the mesh piece I have. I will just try and lay it up here once, so you can have an idea of what it's going to be like. It's a little tough. It's not setting in right as I don't have the tabs chopped off. But that'll be the mesh. It actually glues to the back side there, which is why you gotta cut the tabs off. And obviously that looks funny, so that's why I gotta get rid of the bar. But yeah. I believe they recommend automotive goop, or there was one other thing, I forget what it was, but this came from customcargrills.com. I kind of think I may have found it on eBay, I forget, but this is what we're looking at. So, it's pretty well packaged there. And yeah, like I said, I had the Turbo XS. I know I had some trouble trying to find videos on that, on how to install it. I'll try and give a brief overview here. So, off the top there, you're going to have a 90-degree fitting. I believe that's, yeah, that one should have a little bit of a smaller end on it. And that side, the smaller end will go onto the turbo side there. And then it runs to this pipe, which runs down through the whole way down to here. You just got to wiggle it around until it comes through. And then a regular 90. And then the intercooler goes here. So they come with a different crash bar than what I have right here. So, or I should say factory they do. So then you'll have to pull that off, and if you get the kit, it'll have this crash bar in it, and the intercooler will actually mount to it. That's what these bolts here are. These here as well. Yeah, so that's how that one mounts. There's some other brackets that would be down here on the factory one. You'll have to remove those as well. And then this black line here in the front is actually for the power steering. I guess for cooling there. On some of the years, I believe, I'm not sure if it's 2013, but it sounded like before that you needed it didn't work to reuse this one. So they actually send along another line here, but I didn't have to use that. I probably could have if you like a clean look in front of your intercooler, but I wasn't that worried about it. I figured it's good enough like it is. So I just reinstalled the old one there. That way I don't have to disconnect any lines and pump that through, which I don't believe would be too hard, but I really didn't feel like doing it. But yeah, like I said, that's Turbo XS for the 13 and newer Genesis Coupe. It's a kit that came with, I guess there's different options you can get there. If you have the HKS blow-off, I believe it is, you can get an adapter to make that work. But it will not work with your factory blow-off. So if you just have a factory blow-off, you'll either have to get the HKS or the Turbo XS blow-off, which is what I have there, unless you can come up with some other adaptions or make your own plate for the factory one. So yeah, I'm still in the process of figuring that one out. We'll get that figured out later. I also have a different clutch in the car, as I kind of ruined my other one. Too many launches, I guess. I replaced too many things. I can't remember what everything is. I got it. So there's a website, genracer.com. That's where I get a lot of my parts. I was going to order the Turbo XS intercooler from them, but they were out of stock. And I'm not sure what they would have actually delivered, because I didn't see the options to switch whether you're getting HKS or Turbo XS blow-off. So I ordered directly from Turbo XS. I'm not sure how that was. And then my rotors and brake pads I also got from Genracer. And the clutch I got from Genracer, it's like $1,300 kit. Comes with the friction plate, clutch, actuator valve. Now I will say I do have some rattling. With the shop I used to put it in, we believe that it's just that rattling on the transmission shaft, but we can't say for sure. But at this point we believe that's what it is, so we're just leaving it be. If it gets worse, then we'll have to check into it. But as far as we can tell, that's all it is. And yeah, so I'll go up in here yet. Hold on, it's gonna go black for a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. I don't have anything to edit either, so it might be a little rough. So I put a touch screen in here as well. I got it off of Crutchfield, and it's the Sony XAVX-AX7000, I believe. It works pretty well. I have Android Auto on it. It's not Bluetooth though, so you have to use a cord. I found this piece off of Amazon. I just replaced my power socket with that. I did have to drill it out a little bit, I believe. But that's just a USB going up to the back of the head unit then. Then I just plug my cord into there, and then I have Android Auto. Now there is another USB here, but that did not support the Android Auto, so I was not able to use that one. So that's just a power USB. That's all that one is. And then as for my gauges here, I don't have my keys with me right now, so I can't turn the ignition on so you can see. But these would all be from Glow Shift. Try and get a close up. So I got a wideband here, and my boost gauge, and then an oil temp. I realize they're not very clear, but I'm not sure how to help that right at the moment unless I get something. But I didn't do that much with the interior. I do have a short shifter, but I did not install that, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do that, or if I do it actually. That actually came with the car when I bought it. Yeah, and then if you're like me, you kind of like some, that's actually a light strip there. I have them in under the dash there, and one over there, and then I believe one right along the panel here, and I have one on the other side as well. And then I ran into my compartment here. You have the power socket. I just got a double USB thing there. So one of the USBs is going down to the box that powers all those lights. The other one is actually a 10-foot USB, which I have running out from the bottom of the console, under the seat, back here, and back through the panel, and coming the whole way into my trunk. And I have another set of lights. You can see one right there. Yeah, sorry, it's kind of full here. You can't see that much. I got stuff everywhere. And yeah, I also put this, you can't see very well, but I have a kicker subwoofer powered with a Rockford fosgate amp, and so that I had all the wiring running under the dash here. And you just, this one here you can just grab right here and just carefully pull up the whole way up through. It just clips the whole way up. But yeah, so I have it running the whole way through there. The panel on the other side here is really a pain to try and pull front. I didn't actually pull it front because it just wants to snap clips and stuff, and it still doesn't want to come out. So I just fished them through there, and yeah, then brought everything back through here to where I needed it. I also got a rear view camera off of Crutchfield as well. All my audio stuff I got from Crutchfield, and ran that back through here as well, which is what this here is for. But currently I have my bumper off, so it actually tucks away very well. It's right up in the license plate area, so you can't even see that the camera's there. And yeah, I'll have to take a video of that then, once I have the car back together. And for those of you who are curious, to take your rear bumper off, you have to take the rear tail lights out. There's a little carpet piece with a little indent in it. You just stick your fingers in, kind of curl your hand back, and you can pull that out. And inside there will be 4 bolts for each tail light. You just take out, or actually nuts. Just take all those 4 nuts off, then you'll be able to pull out the tail light. And for the bumper, there will be a screw up into the panel here. It looks a little different because I don't have my bumper on as before. And a screw, I believe it was a screw here and a screw here. Sorry. So there's 3 screws along here, and then these 2 here will be going to the bottom of the bumper. These will just be the little push poppet things, the black clips. And then along here, you want to be careful. This will be all clips. There's no screws in there that you have to pull out. You just gotta grab a hold of the edge of the bumper and pull on it. But you want to watch, because some, like mine was peeling the clips, so you just gotta be gentle with it as you pull it out. And then here and here, those 2 pegs, they'll also have those 2 black clip things. and this here will have a screw in it, so that's for both sides. And as for side skirting, I don't know what to tell you guys. It just really sucks to do. They have a bunch of clips in there that are terrible to try and get out. Actually, one of them is still laying on the floor here. So the problem is, they just go in here like this. So it's this style clip, so you almost gotta pinch this to be able to release it. But when your panel's on there, you can't reach that. And you can't get to the back side of it either. So like this one here, this is the back side of the clip's broken, which isn't too bad because you can just buy some on Amazon or something like that, get some more clips. What you gotta watch for though is don't just yank on it. You will regret that, because you'll most likely rip the backing where these clips fasten to the back of the skirting, or the side, or the rocker molding, I believe is the technical term. It'll actually rip the back side of that off where those clip in, and you don't want to do that. So if anything, just stick a, I don't know, long screwdriver, pry bar, whatever you got, something. Just be careful that you don't damage your other panels. But breaking the clips is going to be better than breaking your molding. That's just no fun. But I believe there was one, forget now, was it a screw or one of these guys? It might have been one of these guys, I forget. And then under here, if you can see those red dots, you won't be able to see them when the molding's on, but at each of those red dots there will be a screw. That's where the screws thread into. So you gotta pull out all those screws for the bottom side. Do that first and then destroy your clips. That's the best advice I got. And for the first three here in the front, you will be able to take a pliers or something, and you should be able to squeeze them to pop them out without breaking them. You just have to pull your pull this front. There will be these two, this one up in here, and that one over there. There'll be each one of those black clip things as well. And then for these two right here, it'll be screws. You just gotta pull all those out, and you can curl this front out of your way next to the brake caliper there, and then you can pull out all those pins. Yeah, and then for your front bumper, there is a screw up in here. There will be under the here, there will be two of those black clip things, and same on this side. I screw up the back there, and then along here, like I said before, you just grab a hold of the edge of the bumper, same as the rear. Just start yanking. Just watch out for these clips. There's some more here, and for the top side here, you're gonna have to pull out some of those rivet things. There'll be like an air ducting thing to vent air over there. You gotta pull that off, and then there'll be a couple more clips along the top rail here that you have to pull out, and then that should be all you need to take your front bumper off. So the bumpers themselves aren't too terrible to take off. They're relatively easy, but the skirting, on the other hand, is, yeah, very much so a pain. And for the front bumper, if you take the fog lights out, like I did here, I recommend grabbing a hold of this edge here when you're pulling them off. You'll have to put your fingers on this side and pull away from the bumper. Otherwise, like this one here, you see how that flexes out? It's not supposed to do that. That's actually broken a little bit. This one over here is actually completely broke off. Whether that was me or the owner before, I don't know. but they were broken when I went to take them off now. So, yeah, just watch out for that. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to go over here. I might do some videos on one aspect versus the other at a later date. I'm not sure. Also, I run the ESR wheels. I'd have to look again. I guess it's too late at night. I can't remember what everything's called. But yeah, these are the wheels I run. I also am running a staggered set like the factory. It'd be 10.5s in the rear, 9.5s in the front, with oh boy, forget what the offset is. Here's the rear wheels. One thing I will say with running a wider wheel, I don't know if all the Genesis are like this or just the rspec, but they do have a little bit of camber. So this is about a year's worth. I mean, granted I do spin them and stuff, but yeah, as you can see, the insides are wore down a bit harder. So this is a rear. It's a 19 by 10.5, and I believe I'm not sure if that 21 there is the offset. I forget